Hello, I'm back with another video today. Yay, clap for me, please. I thought today I would try making those asking all your question videos, except all the questions are gonna come from the YouTube comments instead of Instagram, which most people do, because my Instagram profile is still on private and I don't really want my friends or anyone I know to know about this YouTube channel. But also, I'm like, what's the point anymore? Because apparently some people that I know already found my YouTube channel. So if you went to my old school, hi guys. One of the biggest things that deterred me from making this YouTube channel and making any videos whatsoever was my fear of people I know seeing my videos. Like, I don't care if people I don't know see them, but just like the idea of like people I know like seeing it and making fun of me makes me really sad. So the thing is, I went to some lengths to try to prevent people I know from finding this channel. Like, one, my name's not really Haley, it's Heijin, but I changed my name for this channel specifically because I want to decrease the chances of people I know finding me on the internet. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but part of it also had to do with the fact that I thought maybe having a whitewash name would bring in more views, which I don't know if that's true, but I think it kind of did. But also, I'm thinking of going by Haley in college, not because like I want a whitewash name, but because my whole life, teachers and just people in general, when they first meet me, they can't pronounce my name. You do not understand the number of times that I've been called hygiene. People used to make jokes about me and be like,
oh, you have bad hygiene.
So that wasn't great. And also in middle school and elementary school, I had some teachers, and keep in mind, during these grades, I only had one teacher I had to be with for the entire year, and they still didn't know how to say my name by June. When I meet professors, I want them to know my name. And you know, maybe with job opportunities and internships, maybe having a whitewash name will kind of help me bring in those deals, you know? Sorry guys, I lied to you guys. Oh no. Don't cancel me. This intro is way too long already, so let's just get into it. Answering all your guys' questions that I got from my comments from all my videos. Let's go. So the first question, or questions that I want to address first of all, is all the questions asking me to edit your guys' essays. And I got so many requests. I got like 40 or 50 like all at once in my email. I only thought like 5-10 people would send them to me max, and that is not what happened. And now I'm putting a cap on all essays I'm editing. I don't know if I can do this any longer because every single essay I edit ends up taking like an hour of my time because I don't want to like half-ass revise it, so I just kind of put it off and don't do it and hope I'm in the mood later. I have like 6 left right now, and I posted a comment, like a pinned comment on the video about like revising your guys' essays, saying like, stop submissions, don't send them to me anymore for now, it's getting me overwhelmed. Obviously some people are getting my email from my Common App essay and then not knowing about that pinned comment and then just sending it to me anyways, which like awesome, like I'm so happy that you guys trust me to edit your guys' essays, but it's getting a little overwhelming. I don't know what to do because I really want to help you guys, but also it's like getting me really stressed about it, and I didn't expect that to happen. Hopefully you guys don't unsubscribe just for me saying that. Shoot, okay. Moving on. Were there any college search tools that you found useful, or did you simply make a list based on the top rankings and what is near you? As far as college search tools go, I just used my college counselor, and he sent me a whole list of a bunch of colleges that I should look into, and that was kind of what I went off of. I didn't really actively go out there on the internet and try to find all these specific colleges. In terms of like looking at top rankings, obviously that did play a part in me choosing where I was going to apply, but more than that, it was more based on location and where I felt like I would fit in socially more than academically, I guess. I know this may sound completely weird, but what was a typical school day or weekend like during junior year? So my typical school day kind of differed depending on what season it was, whether it was the fall, winter, or the spring. But generally I would wake up around 7 a.m. because I lived at school, so I didn't have to get up that early. I would get breakfast. School started at 8 a.m. and finished between 2:55 and 3:30 p.m. In the fall, I had crew practice right after school, so I would go to the bus and we drive to the lake, and by the time we came back, it would be around 6:30, 6:45 sometimes, and then after I got dinner, it would probably be around 7:15, and then I would go back to my room, kind of just chill, shower. And since I went to a boarding school and I lived at the school, we had mandatory study hall between 8 and 10 p.m. So that was when we had to be studying or doing something productive, especially in the fall, because during the fall, everyone had to have their doors wide open so teachers can walk through the hallways and check if we were in our rooms doing productive stuff. And then I would probably do a little bit of debate stuff, research and everything for an hour or an hour and a half. And then by then it'd be 9 or 9:30, and then I would start my homework. And honestly, when I finished my homework ranged a lot depending on how much homework I had. Sometimes I would finish as early as 9:30 or 10, and sometimes I wouldn't be done until it was like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. because I had a test the next day. But yeah, that was pretty much my typical day. It varied a little, like in the winter, I didn't have to go to the lake for crew, so we cut down on the bus time and we just had the practice time, so I got like an extra hour out of that. And also on the debate off seasons, I didn't really have to do a lot of debate stuff, so I also had more free time there, and I was able to take some naps during the day. And then on the weekends, I was really chill with my weekends. Like, unless I had a debate tournament or a crew regatta to go to, which was probably about half of my weekends, I would just be in my room watching Netflix, waking up late. The weekend was kind of the time for me to relax and do my own thing, hang out with my friends, and recharge like my internal battery and get ready for the next school week, where it would be busy again and I wouldn't be getting a lot of sleep. And my other extracurriculars that I did, I forgot what extracurriculars I did, to be honest, but a lot of those things, it didn't take up a lot of my time, so it was totally manageable. It would be like at most 2 hours a week. That was a really drawn out answer, but there's your answer. Next. Hello Haley, I was wondering what study strategies you used to get a 5 in AP Chem. So I didn't really study. You should not listen to me when I talk about studying tips and everything, because I did not study that much. For AP Chem, honestly, I think the class itself prepared me enough. The thing is, at my school, for almost every single AP class, we have like a week or 2 week period before the actual AP exam where we don't learn any new material. We just kind of review and take practice exams. I might have took 1 or 2 practice AP Chem exams beforehand on my own, and I would just read through all the notes I wrote during the year every single night or every other day until I took the actual exam. And it worked out pretty well. But also, don't trust me on AP exam studying, because this year, dude, the online AP exams fucked me up. I have never gotten a 3 on my AP exam until senior year, where I got a 3 on AP French and AP Euro. But the thing is, I thought I did well on those exams, so I was kind of shocked when I got a 3, because I thought I would have at least gotten a 4 on those. And I got a 5 in AP Physics, which I thought I would get a 4 or 3 on. It was good though, because AP Physics was honestly the only AP exam that really mattered to me, because I could actually get college credit for it, so it worked out in the end, I guess. First of all, I loved your essay. Thank you. Secondly, I read that you were majoring in engineering in one of your comments. Do you think UPenn is a good school to go to solely for engineering? I want to get a job right out of undergrad, but I've been reading that the Ivies aren't that good for engineering careers. I'd hate to go to a school that doesn't value the only career I want to be in. I don't know who you heard from that Ivies aren't good for engineering careers. I don't think that's true at all. I think the reason why some people might think that Ivies have bad engineering programs is because they're not necessarily known for their engineering programs, like some schools like MIT and Carnegie Mellon. They're really good. Like UPenn, I think all of their engineering like sectors and majors are at least in the top 20, top 15. And also for me specifically, I kind of want to go into consulting in the engineering sector, and I'm not sure if I want to be an industry engineer right now. At the end of the day, I guess I valued Penn's networking resources and opportunities more than I valued the actual ranking in terms of their engineering programs. Yeah. Next, you should vlog parts of your life in Korea. It would be so interesting to see that part of your life. This isn't a question, but I did want to ask you guys if you would be interested in seeing vlogs of my life in Korea, even though I'm not doing anything college related here. Maybe it'd be nice because Korea is not under lockdown or quarantine, so you guys can kind of live a normal life through me. Just let me know in the comments down below if you want to see that stuff. Do you get financial aid? Yes, I have a video on it. Link right here, hopefully. What filming equipment are you using? The quality is so good. This might be a surprise to you guys, but I'm filming on my iPhone. Every single one of my videos is filmed on my iPhone because I'm too broke to afford a camera or any other equipment. Let's get my channel to 1,000 subs so I can monetize this channel and buy an actual camera. Doesn't matter very much to connect your essay with the major you want to get into. What was your major? So I originally applied to Penn and all of the schools I applied to with the intended major of bioengineering or biomedical engineering if they had that program, but I recently submitted a major change request form to Penn and now I am undeclared within the School of Engineering. I don't think your essay has to connect that much with your major. To be honest, like my Common App didn't have anything to do with engineering whatsoever. Just write about you in that essay, what you care about, your personality, show the app readers your true colors. A lot of schools, I know Penn did, have supplemental essays that you can write that are more geared towards talking about your academics and your career goals in the future. And that was where I talked about biomedical engineering, bioengineering, and why I want to do that. So I would say that stuff for these supplemental essays if you can. And next question, this was on my financial aid video, just for some context. Would I be able to receive that kind of aid too? Like, do you think your family income was the reason for the 46K Penn grant? So obviously my family income did have to do with the amount of financial aid I got from Penn, but I do still think that I got more aid from Penn than I would have if I applied to other schools that weren't in the Ivies or in those top like ranked schools, I guess, that have a lot of money to give out. For an example, I also applied to Case Western and I'm highly doubtful that I would have gotten that much aid from them compared to Penn. Just for some context, my family was very middle class, in the middle of the middle class range. And I think it's like amazing that I only have to pay like $5,000 per year to go to Penn. Also, I realized while I was paying my bill for the fall semester, I only had to pay $900. First of all, because of COVID, we got some savings from that. And also they decreased the price for housing, I think. So we had to pay a little less than we would have in normal years. But I also didn't realize included in the $5,000 that I would pay for the whole year, they also included personal expenses and books and supplies. So the actual money that I had to pay to Penn directly only ends up being like $2,000 for the entire year. Insane. Next question. Advice on interviews and teacher recs. On interviews, I only had to go through 2 interviews, one for Penn and one for the University of Michigan. For my Penn interview, the guy I got was the nicest person that I've ever talked to, possibly in my life. We met up in a nearby Starbucks, and when I got there, he offered to buy me a drink at Starbucks, and I was like, thank you, oh shoot. We sat down and immediately he told me he's going to write me a great recommendation letter. Don't worry about that. He just wants to get to know me. He wants to answer any questions that I have for him about Penn, about his experience there. And he was honestly so nice, and he made the interview process so not stressful for me, which I really appreciated. I definitely do think that he played like a tiny role at least in me getting accepted, because another girl from my grade got into Penn in the ED round with me, and she also had the same interviewer, so I don't know if that played a role in the whole thing. But I will note to get on those emails right away when they contact you to set up that interview. You don't want to seem lazy to them, and you don't want to seem like you don't really care about the interview to them, so I would respond to those emails right away. In terms of my Michigan interview, it was a little more stressful because the woman I met up with was less warm, I guess, and it was more like she was just reading a list of questions off her paper and just writing notes for that. The kinds of questions they asked me in general was Like, why do you want to apply to this school? How would you describe yourself to other people? What kind of extracurriculars do you do? Any leadership positions that you hold? Just those basic questions. So it wasn't like that technical stuff where they're like, what's like 3 pi times blah 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 blah. It wasn't any technical stuff. It was just like about you. And in terms of teacher recommendations, honestly, I don't know any advice to give on this except be nice to your teachers. And also, I would ask your teachers early as possible. My school made all the students ask teachers in the spring of junior year for teacher recommendations because a lot of these teachers got a lot of requests for recommendation letters, so they needed the time over the summer to actually write all those recommendations. And don't ask in the fall of your senior year. That's going to be really stressful for you and the teacher, and they're not going to have enough time to write the recommendation letter like they want to and give as much time as they would have if you asked earlier on. Also, my school really emphasized asking one STEM teacher and one humanities teacher. So I would also try to do that so you get a holistic view of who you are. How would you recommend writing about personal growth? Those emotional achievements without coming off as bragging. I totally agree with you, by the way. I think humility is so important in these essays, but I want to really highlight my high school accomplishments and my extracurriculars and show Penn that I'm incredibly qualified for their school without seeming like I have some sort of superiority complex. So when it comes to talking about achievements in extracurriculars and in your academics, I would try to stray away from talking about that in your Common App essay because I think the Common App essay should be reserved for showing them who you are as a person rather than who you are in terms of your extracurriculars and all your stats. The reason I say this is because you have a whole section in your application to write about your accomplishments, your extracurriculars, your stats and everything, your grades, how good you are in school, all of that. Why talk about that again in your Common App essay when they already know that stuff about you? If there's something you did outside of school that you're proud of that you weren't able to include in your extracurricular section because it didn't really belong in that space, I think that's a great thing to write about in your Common App essay if you feel really passionate about that. Also realize a lot of schools have supplemental essays where you can kind of brag or whatever about your academic achievements and your extracurriculars. Colleges give you the space to do that. And I don't think that personal growth necessarily has to be shown through like learning hard skills. Or I didn't talk about any academics, any of that stuff in my Common App essay. And I focused on kind of highlighting the part of me where I'm like, I always want to improve on myself and improve on the things that I've already learned in the past. And that didn't require me talking about any of my ECs or any of my, school achievements whatsoever. Next one is, how do you get motivated to start the Common App essay? I wasn't. I started in early mid-August, which is kind of late. I don't recommend doing that. It was very stressful. And I ended up cramming everything in the week or two before the application was due. So learn from me what not to do. Next one is, do you have to have extracurriculars that relate to your major? No. Or at least personally, I didn't, because I had no extracurriculars that related to my major whatsoever. Literally nothing. I think the only thing that kind of had to do with my major was the classes I took. I did really well in my STEM classes, so I think that played a role in me getting into the School of Engineering. And then the next question is, do you have any advice on what activities you recommend for me, maybe clubs? So as a general piece of advice, I would recommend to all of you guys, especially incoming freshmen, join as many clubs as you can freshman year. My school had a club fair where all the clubs would set up their own stations in the gym and people would walk around and sign up on their little list for their club, and they would give out treats like M&M's, Skittles, all this stuff out to people to get them to join their club. And I would sign up to as many as you want if you just even have an inkling of interest in that club. And even if you don't actually end up going to the meetings, I think it's good to get those emails from that club so you know when meetings are happening. And if one day you don't have anything to do and you have some free time, you can just hop in those club meetings and see what they're about. And I think that way, by the end of freshman year, you'll have taken all the opportunities to look into what kind of stuff you're interested in, and you'll find the clubs that really fit with you and your personality and your goals and what you like to do in high school, and you will be able to kind of further your involvement within those clubs and maybe get a leadership position in the future. Don't do what I did, because in freshman year I joined almost no clubs whatsoever, and I really regret that, and I had to join all the clubs sophomore year and kind of start from sophomore year instead of freshman year. Can you please make a video or a quick blurb in the comments about AP Ling and self-studying? I recommend to every single one of you guys to take the AP language exam, especially in junior year. So at my school, we didn't have any AP English classes that we could take. So junior year, the English teachers gave all of us an opportunity to just sign up for the AP language exam without taking a class for it and just seeing what score you could get. And I would say junior year, especially if you're taking the ACT or the SAT, which a lot of you guys should be doing since you need those scores for a lot of colleges, the AP language exam was really similar to the English and writing section of the ACT. I can only talk about my experience with the ACT because I never took the SAT, but it was very similar. It was just a lot of grammar stuff, and we had to write 3 essays, I think, but they were very similar prompts to the ACT exam. If you do well on it, great, you can send it to your college. If you don't do great on it, what's the consequence? And personally, I didn't self-study for the AP language exam in particular. I studied a lot for the ACT exam over the summer and during the year, so that studying kind of transferred over into the AP exam. And I ended up getting a 5, so you should do it too. Are you Asian? No, I'm white. And I think that's going to be the end of the video. I think that was a great question to end on. If you like this video, please like and comment down below. Also, if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe and click the bell icon or whatever to see my videos when they come out. Also, I want to talk to you guys about where I want this channel to go in the future. As of now, when the school year starts and I get into that school year routine, I'm going to try to vlog as much as I can of my life and post as many vlogs as I can on this channel to let you guys into my life and into the Penn experience, the Ivy League experience, whatever you want to call it, to make the whole experience a little less exclusive. And for everyone who's not entirely sure if they want to go to Penn or apply to Penn, I'll let you guys know if it would be a good fit for you guys or not. And lastly, if you have any ideas or topics that you want me to make a video on, please comment down below and I will try my best to make those videos. And that is all. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye guys!
So destroy the evidence, leave not a trace, burn it in paper trash. That way they can deny possessing the illegal